Hey guys, welcome back again to more charting sessions. Um, I wasn't able to record a video yesterday, so I'm here now. So we did skip a day, which is fine. Um, but yeah, it's currently basically 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. So let's try and keep this short. Let's try and do this as quick as possible. That way I can get ready for bed. So, um, an important thing to go over that we're going to really look at is MU. So if you didn't take a look at the previous video, which was 2 days ago, so 11/18, um, go look at it because I talk about MU and I really break it down on how I view that chart. And yeah, and MU made a pretty big move from that last thing from a couple days ago, along with the whole entire market. So go look at the video and go look at MU. MU is a really good move that happened, and I give the perfect breakdown for it. And yeah, it played exactly how I wanted. And we'll go over MU once we get there down the list while charting. So, um, first of all, let's look at ES. So, just like how I said last time, last video, I believe we made this little pop area, demand area, support area. Um, Basically, the way I'm looking about this is looking for shorts tomorrow. Why? Because in this area here, we see that we have an aggressive move to the downside. It tried going up, rejected, went right back down below this area, and it looks like it's testing the top of that area. So, what do you think is going to happen next? Take a look where my cursor is. Most likely going to be bearish. So, any break above this box is bullish. Any rejection from this box is bearish. So, other than that, nothing much else to say. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next. Um, so yeah, let's move on to the next one. NQ, probably the same exact thing. NQ instead, I didn't make a base here, but if we follow my cursor right there, let me remove everything actually first because, okay. And for some reason it doesn't let me remove everything. Oops. Remove. Okay. So if you pay attention to my cursor right there, you see it basically bottom ticks that that level. So we just take a look right there. We go into the 15. This is where it bounced from that level. Anything below is a short. Anything above is a long. However, price seems a little exhausted. So, well, it doesn't seem exhausted, but it's a lot more riskier to go for shorts just because it already went down a ton. Nearly a, no, let me see. How much did it go down to? So down from wow. So this went down more than 1,000 points. Wow. That is wow. So yeah, this went down a lot. Same thing for ES. Um, this could go for shorts. Anything below this line, anything above is longs. So yeah. RTY. RTY. So we drew this last video, this line right here. I think we drew it last video. Same thing. It already went below the line. And it already rejected that line, or right there from where my cursor is. As you can see, pre-market on Tuesday. If you look to the left of your screen, pre-market Tuesday, pre-market low. Look where my cursor is. Follow my cursor. It rejected from that pre-market low today, in today's pre-market. So any rejection from that level, that 23.25 level, it's gonna be shorts. So YM probably the same thing or not. Who knows? Nothing much for YM. Let's take out these lines. Okay, let's go down to the 4. Let's go up to the 4 hour. Same thing. Bouncing on this level, but all the futures are below their levels, so maybe it will go below, maybe it won't. Who knows? But I would say anything right there. My entry would be anything below this right here. So if we take a look at pre-market low and today's low intraday, we see that it can't break below that 1 point, which is where my cursor is at. So my guess, anything below is a short, anything above is a long. Oil. How's oil doing? Oil is doing horrible. Cool. It already broke below these pre-market lows. Most likely a short for tomorrow. Take a look at the 4 hour. So we see right there, broke below. What's the next level on my bounce? 56.30. So let's mark that down for next session. Let's see. Let's look at the daily. Wow, that is a lot of green. Daily. So we see price has popped from that level each time it's touched. So we'll probably see the same thing or not. So yeah, that's my guess. If anything, maybe entry up here, 58.6 or 58.70, for that rejection. Okay. Next, remember we gotta speed run this. Look at gold. What's going on with gold? Okay, anything below 40.45, short it. Let's take a look at the bigger time frame. Personally, okay, never mind. Disregard what I said. Right there, that's your short, 40.55. Anything below that is a short. We'll probably see some rejection from there. Let's look at the 15 just to get a clearer view. 40.55, basically right there. Let's see. I'm not gonna get it perfect, but right there. Or right there, I guess. I don't know. I guess just call it there. Right there, good level. Most likely a short. Personally, I wouldn't touch this. But up to you if you guys would want to do that. That's just not the way how I do things. So, that's a short, clear short. You can see it from a mile away. Will it happen? I don't know. I don't own the market. Remember, guys, just to clear something up, I say I don't know a lot when I look at these charts. Why? It's not because it's raining outside and it's super windy, and I don't know if the mic picked it up, but there was I believe like a can, like a Coke can or something, and it was just rolling around the floor outside. Anyways, so the reason why I say I don't know, it's not because I don't know what I'm talking about or I don't know what I'm doing. It's not it. I say I don't know because the market does whatever it wants. As you've heard me say multiple times, just because just because the chart is at supply, building up pressure, doesn't mean it's going to break out and hold. It could just shoot down. Just because price is at a bounce level doesn't mean it's going to bounce. A prime example of this is Qualcomm. So, take a look at this area right here. So, a while back, I drew this trend line here. Just look at it like this. Why? Level here, bounce, 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 bounce. Not the perfect trend line. There's, I don't, in my opinion, there's no way you can get a perfect trend line. If you do, it's luck. Anyways, so here's my trend line. I see this. Boom, 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 pop, 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 pop. Building up pressure. This is literally perfect pressure. I can't move to the side anymore. That sucks. Maybe the daily will show it. Okay. Um. So right here, we get a big aggressive drop, and then we start climbing back up. So it's building pressure towards this area right here. As we see pressure building up, I'm like, okay, once it breaks this, it's probably going to start shooting up. It's probably going to start trading above that. What happens as soon as it touches again? Sells right off. So, which is how I say it, why I say it. Just because it's at supply, building pressure doesn't mean it's going to continue to go up. And look, it hits the trend line and it blows right below. Part of it, of what it has to do with it, is earnings. It was earnings day. However, if you just take a look at it now, it started recovering and then broke out. And then broke below, broke out, and then, as you can see again, broke below recently. So that's my example for that. So not everything I see is perfect. Um, not everything. What am I saying? Not everything is. You're not gonna predict everything. Um, Market does whatever it wants. Just because it's at a certain level doesn't mean it's gonna go your way. So if you get it wrong, just say you juice something, you get it wrong. Don't beat yourself up for it because this market moves crazy. This market will go against you at times. It'll go with you. So in reality, it doesn't matter what you see and what you do. So right off the bat here, I noticed it as soon as I got on this chart. But for example, we see pressure building up around here. So we see aggressive drop. Why? I don't know. Aggressive drop, build up pressure right here. That's where the pressure is. Or no, like right here. That's perfect. Right there. Rejection, rejection, rejection. Build up, and then it popped. Popped right out, and then tested over there. Tested again, and now it's kind of just going up and down over it, and then eventually just broke below. Anyways, we want to look at this area right here. It doesn't really look good, but this is what I expected Qualcomm to do when I drew that trend line, because it was building up pressure, enough pressure. Usually when there's a lot of buildup and it's a healthy buildup like this, just trending upwards, higher highs, blah blah blah, you'll expect a move like this usually. Sometimes that doesn't always happen, but usually something like that happens. So yeah, that's what I was expecting for Qualcomm, and it didn't happen. So yeah, you know what I did? I said, "Oh well, I don't care." That's what I said when I saw that from Qualcomm. I don't give a damn what it did. Okay, cool. Wasn't right. I'm right at like 80% of the time. Probably more, to be honest. But yeah, there's always a lot of opportunity. But the market is based off luck, to be honest. You guys might not agree, but I don't care whether you agree with me or not. I've been doing this for years. I've seen things go below support, go above resistance, reject, blah blah blah, not move my way. Doesn't matter where their trend line is, doesn't matter where demand zone is, it doesn't matter. Everything's based off luck. Unless you're a bank, which I doubt, or a market maker, you're not predicting the market. You're not gonna know 100% where the market's gonna go next. Anyways, enough of my rant. XLK, nothing much. Except the only thing would probably be right here. Right there would be my bounce area. Look at that. Bounce, 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 bounce. Tried bouncing here, but then broke below. Now for tomorrow, I'm looking for a test on that line. What do you think is going to happen? We're in a downtrend. The whole market's in the downtrend. The futures are in a downtrend. All the technology is in a downtrend. Oh my gosh. I don't know what the hell just happened there. What do you think is going to happen next when the whole market is in a downtrend and this already broke below support? It's probably going to test and go right back down. That's probably what's going to happen. Anyways, next one. Like we said, we're going to do this one quick, and we're not doing it quick. CRM, perfect. What did we say last time? Breaks below this demand zone that it's been building up for years. This is years worth of demand since 2023, so 2 years ago. Actually, yeah, almost exactly 2 years ago. This was 11. This specific candle bar is 11/29. We're 9 days away from it being exactly 2 years ago. So cool. Anyways, yeah, broke below demand. Where is it gonna go? I don't know. I don't give a damn. It could do something like this. Maybe something like that could happen, where it just goes down and then comes right back up. It already broke below. Now maybe there. I don't know. I don't care. Would I trade this? Probably not. It's already too late. I mean, technically, actually, you still can trade this. I lied. Sorry. What am I expecting? Just go off pre-market levels. How do you go based off pre-market levels? Pre-market high, pre-market low. Cracks above, longs. Cracks below, short it. It's simple. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. There's a lot more to that than just that. But that's basically the main thing about it. So, Microsoft. What did we say about Microsoft? It was going to hit this, most likely, and then short. As we can see, that's why I always take it off. Now you don't want to do it anymore. Now it doesn't want to do that little horizontal box that always annoys me. Now it doesn't want to do it anymore. Whatever's. I'm not too sure where we were when I first called this out. So this was 2 days ago. Maybe here? I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea. Or I think it was here actually when I don't know, whatever's. Um so yeah. Whatever it is, we predicted it right because we obviously said we were gonna short it. Look what happened, it shorted. So right there, rejected off that level, that 495, sorry. Rejected 495. And this is a beautiful trade. Wow. This is a perfect trade. Why? Easiest trade. I don't know why I didn't take this trade. Why didn't I take this trade? Do I care? No. Not opportunity in this market. It's going to be a lot more trades that are like this. Probably better. Maybe the same. Maybe worse. I don't care. I've learned over the years to just deal with emotions, not dealing with FOMO. Whenever I miss a move like this, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I look at it, I say, oh, damn. All right, cool. On to the next one. Anyways, why is this the easy one? Because if you take a look at that white line, price has not been able to go above. Why do I say short? Zoom out. I'm not going to give you the answer. You figure it out. Why do you think I say short? Let me give you a hint. Follow my cursor. What's that? a drop, base, drop. Simple. Why do we say short? It's already in the downtrend. Most likely, and not only is this in the downtrend, but every single ticker in the market is trending downwards. So that's why I say down. When the market is going down, if it was mixed, I might have a different opinion. However, this chart, whole market going down, everything's giving each other strength to go downwards and follow each other. That's why. Anyways, so yeah, could have traded this today and then could have caught this entire move all the way to the downside. Personally, I would have just caught it up until the previous day low. Why? Because that's how you should trade. You're not going to expect a full port on everything. You know, realistically, like come on, let's be realistic. You're not going to always catch a move from all the way here and then just think it's going to go all the way down here or something. It didn't have to do all this. If it really wanted to, it could have just probably popped right there on its previous day low. But it didn't. Market had too much strength for sellers. But, however, how you can trade this to take full, to really maximize your profits is you take this short from the top, sell it right there at previous day close. Those are the target. That's how you usually want to target your stuff. You always look for the couple previous days highs or lows, whatever way you're trading, and then you sell it there. So from 493, is that 4? Yeah, 493 to 490 to 483, a $10 move. That's depending on how many contracts. Well, just one contract, I don't know how much that is. Probably one contract. That's probably like maybe $1,000, maybe a little bit less. I'm not too sure, but definitely over 500 and definitely below 1,500. So about within that range. I know it's a pretty big range, but like I said, it's in there. Anyways, you sell it right there. You see all this going down. You see the whole market going down. Oh man, I guess I could have been in it. No, you don't get FOMO. So you wait for a retest. Me, if I, oh my gosh, just a minute again. Okay, once I see this, I take a look over here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, sorry, right here. Take a look over here. It already broke below its previous day. The whole market has a lot of strength going downwards. Why? I don't know. I don't care. However, it comes right back up. Coincidentally, it hits that and then sells right there. You could take your entry. This would be my entry for another short. Right there. It touches that. Guess where your stop loss is? Right there. I don't even think that's $1. That's about $1. $1 stop loss. That's it. If you miss this entry, I never really get in twice on the same chart or in a day. I'm usually in on one trade and I'm done. I don't care if another ticker has a really good setup. All I need is one trade. If I get it wrong, okay, cool. Maybe I might trade again depending on how it is, but I'll be patient. If I get it wrong, I'm like, okay, maybe I wasn't patient enough with my trade. Let me wait until it hits resistance or support, and then I'll get right back in. If I get stopped out again, okay, cool. I'm done for the day. I don't care. However, if I miss this move, wait for that pullback. It already broke below yesterday's low. It came right back up, and it shot right back down. What's gonna happen tomorrow? I don't know. I don't care. But most likely, it's probably gonna hit that. So let's draw our line. We could say right here, or we can say right here. So tomorrow we'll check this out and we'll see how this plays out. So my guess is that its price is probably going to come around here, maybe break above, then go down, maybe just keep rejecting. But pre-market hasn't really settled to really know about it. So That's my guess. Apple, 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 Apple. Nothing much going on with Apple. Same thing. Bounce area right here at 265, or yeah, 266, just call it. So let's mark this level down. This seems to be a pretty important level. Right there. Mark that down. Anything below is a short. Anything above is a long. But judging off this huge candle, this or today's price, it just kind of seems like it wants to break below. Nothing much is happening. We are at, I believe this is all-time highs. Yep. We're at all-time highs. What happens at all-time highs? Most likely price is going to go down. There's a higher chance of it going down. So, and look at this huge rejection bar right there. Right there today. That tells me this wants to go down. Is it going to happen? Probably not. Maybe, yeah. Most likely. I don't care though. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to predict the market 100%, but I use tools to help me on how to execute my trades and how it can help me try and predict the market. That's how I use my tools. So I'm not going to know 100% of the time. It might go my way, but maybe a different way than how I explain it. But you're not always going to get them. So just to let you guys know. Oh wow, that's a lot of O's. That's not Google. Google. I kind of forgot what we said about Google. I think we said again another short. So you see what I mean by when I said most likely short. I think I said short. I'm pretty sure I said short, or maybe don't trade this at all. But most likely I was probably in shorts. Um, so you see here is just it's still above this. So put it this way: while everything in the market is below their supports, this one is still trading above. So, and however, if all the other tickers that we've seen so far have been well below their supports, and this one is above its support with just a tiny bar, a tiny intraday. I mean, this is still a lot. 306 to 287. That's a huge move. But compared to the other ones, this one seems like this has some good amount of strength because it's still well above its support level. But this could break down. This could break down or not. Once again, who knows? Oracle, I believe we said the same thing. Shorts. Once it breaks below that level, what did it do? Went up, right back down. And now it's going down over here. How did this look like intraday? How do we trade this? Let's see. There's really not much to say about this one intraday because there's not enough data for me. Yeah, there's really not much data for me to take a trade on this. So most likely I wouldn't have gotten this trade. But yeah, this is definitely a nice move. 235 to 207. So yeah, cool. Cool move. Let's look at Netflix. NFLX. Just like how we said, once it breaks below this, you want to trade it. However, no, yeah, perfect trade. Again, basically same thing as the other one we saw. I think Microsoft it was. It broke below the demand, came right back up to test pre-market, and then went right back down. I didn't test it perfectly from this long base that it built over pre-market. Price isn't going to react from other prices or to other prices perfectly. Sometimes you might get a reaction like from here to there, a pretty decent move, and then from here to there, a couple cents off. It's not always going to be like that, or it's not always going to react perfectly. Um, yeah, there's not really much else examples to really give it off, but the levels aren't going to be perfect. A double top. Ugh, look, example. Double top, if we look at this. Top right here. Top right here. Obviously, it's not aligned perfectly with the wicks or whatever, but I would still consider it. Anyways, we're getting off topic here, and we said we're going to be quick with this one. So, meta. Um, I think I got this one perfect, actually. So we said anything below this line is going to be a short. And if we look, this is another perfect trade. If we look at today, it couldn't really break above this level. It broke above, but it never broke above pre-market high. So what happened next? Went all the way right back down. However, there is a little bounce, there is a little support here. So maybe that can mean something. Where is it at? And if we can take a look at it, follow the cursor. We don't really see much. But it did go down a lot already. So maybe it could be time for a reversal, depending on how the rest of the market wants to act. IBM. I'm not too sure what we said about this, but I think we said anything below this level right here, this 294, call it, is probably a short. So yeah. This is yeah. Would I trade this? Probably not. Just because there's not enough data for me. But yeah. Amazon. We're close to MU. Close to MU. Um, I don't think we said much from Amazon. I think I said that it was too late. Anything above this is a long. Anything below is a short. But wait, be right back. Sorry, guys. Something came up real quick. But I'm back. Amazon, we didn't really say much about it. Besides, probably right there, bounce level. Um, so now that we take a look intraday, um, same thing. Price couldn't break above that. It's short. Here's that bounce level. Went right below. So what's gonna happen next? Most likely some resistance. What's gonna happen after? Probably reject, and then go right back down. So that's how I would trade this, but I'd be careful because it already made a huge move already to the downside. Nvidia. Nvidia's next. This one's a good one. It's right at support. So let's see how pre-market is. This could bounce or not. It already made an aggressive move. So usually moves. I think my dog is at my door. Usually aggressive moves like this. Price tends to be exhausted sometimes for huge moves, especially just stuff like that where there's no healthy structures. What I mean by that is like not making lower lows or higher highs. It just drops. So there's a possibility where this bounces up. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. Anything below this level is a short. Anything above is a long. Like how we've been saying for the past 3 videos. TSM, we gotta hurry up. I'm tired. TSM. Okay, so intraday. Let's see. I'm not too sure why we have this here. I think we said anything below this a short? I don't know. You guys can take a look at the other video I made. And you guys can tell me why I drew these lines, because I don't remember. And if you haven't watched my other videos, I have horrible memory, which isn't good for a trader. But yeah, I have horrible memory, and I tend to forget things super quickly. I'm starting to think I have dementia, to be honest. But anyways, so right here, bounce level, anything below, short it, anything above, long it. So let's kind of extend our line. Anything above, long, anything below is a short. So speed run it. Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going. AMD below that level. This is what I do. Oh my gosh, hiccup. Oh my bad, guys. Just like how we said last time. Anything below this level is a short. Anything above is a long. Personally, I wouldn't have taken this trade, given from pre-market all the way to this right here, because what I mean, I don't know if I'm making sense to you guys, but seeing this move, I wouldn't have taken a trade on this, just because there's once again not much structure. Just because pre-market's all the way up here, you do have these levels to go based off of, but too much for me. Anyways, not enough evidence for me to take this trade. And even if it broke below this, I wouldn't go in it because we're all the way up here. That is a near $10 move. So who knew it was going to make another $10 move or a, a lot of dollars move? I believe this made a 15 move actually after. Um, yeah, no, I made it. Anyways, from here, who knew I was going to do the rest of that? Because this is a huge move just from here to that. Usually this is what 228, 234. That usually moves in between $10. Usually does it happen all the time? No, because clearly made this huge drop. So I wouldn't have gotten on this just because that's too far of a drop. It could have bounced, pop right back up to pre-market low, and then go up again, and then go back down again. Um, Obviously, it didn't do that. But me personally, I wouldn't get in on this. To me, I would consider this a FOMO trade, in my eyes. QCOM. QCOM, we kind of already did it earlier in the beginning of the video. Um, so yeah, like how we said, our lines aren't gonna be perfect. So we see here, it reacted to today's price, tested at pre-market low from yesterday, and then sold off again, right on support. So that would have been a pretty nice trade to get in. Yeah, good trade. So look at that. Follow my cursor right here. Nice trade to get in. 168 all the way to previous stay low. 164. $4 move. Nice move. Now, for the one that I've been hyping up since the beginning of the video, MU. So, this is how I see it once again, trending upwards. We see a double top form, and then we see it sell off. Here's a bounce level. What happens? It couldn't. Oh my gosh. What happens from that bounce level? It couldn't hold above. It's been fluctuating in between. So let's go intraday, because this I drew the level exactly how I said I would trade this. So we see this level right here. We see price rejecting off this level. So look at the next day. So this is when we made the video. I believe until pre-market, until halfway, like around this area, from this pink level. That's where we got the pink line from. We made this yellow one, or I believe I made this yellow one off camera. But these extra little bubbles I made off camera for sure. Anyways, so yeah, we see rejection from this level. How I would have played this, like how I said from previous day. I see price bounce from pre-market low. I see it trending up right there. That's perfect for an entry because this lines up also as well with the previous day test on that level, on that yellow level. And what happened? It sold off, which also happened to be pre-market high. So we take an entry here, take it all the way to pre-market low, or the previous day low. Right there. Perfect trade. Or right here. Pre-market low, I would say. Or there. But right there is fine. 225 from where? 234 to 225. A near $10 move from just this little. This would have completed my trade in an hour. Let's see, 8:15, 7. So about an hour and 15. This would have made me probably a fuck ton of money depending on my contract. So yeah, that is a perfect move, which is why I've been waiting to do this one, because this one is so perfect. And not only that, guess what? You can take a trade again today. Why? Because it's still rejecting off that level. As we can see, it made a base during pre-market, yesterday's pre-market, on top of that level. However, it broke below and then tested again, tested that base during pre-market, and sold, sold, sold. And guess where we're at? We're at the bounce level that we originally said. Market opened below the bounce level and sold off. So if you wanted to take that entry again, 230 all the way to yesterday's low. I guess you can follow the wick. 230 to 216, a $16 move, or $14 move, sorry. A $14 move to the downside. So imagine if you took these two trades yesterday and today. You take from 234 to 225. That is a $9 move. Again, another perfect trade. 230 to 216, a $14 move. In total, you caught about almost $25 or 26. You caught about $26 worth of stock. But in total, if you took those trades separately, that would have probably made you, on just one contract alone, would have probably made you about $2,000 off of probably a $400. I think that's how much the contracts are going, depending on what contract you get. But that's probably about a $400 move just off of these little candles. which is insane. This is why I said I really liked this chart. This one was my favorite one out of all of them. Do I want to take a trade now? Absolutely not. It's already too late. Why? Because the level was up here. This is the trade you wanted to enter. Why would you get in all the way down here when the move already happened? They made one huge move to the downside. You don't want to take a trade down here for shorts. It's too risky. And not only that, it was trending up in a trend line perfectly. Bounce, 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 bounce. Failed, broke trend line. And then, right here, previous support, then turned resistance, and then just broke right below. That's why I said this is my favorite. So in total, 230 to $230 move just today alone. That's a huge move. I wouldn't get in on that anymore. Next, all right, now let's get these other ones out of the way super quickly. I think we said rejection here. It didn't reject on that exact same spot, but overall it did reject. So yeah, nothing else much. Um, yeah, would I trade this? Nope, I wouldn't trade this. Um, does look like it's back in that little resistance, but I still wouldn't trade this. I really wouldn't even call that resistance to be honest. But I wouldn't trade that. XLV. Okay, this one I do remember. So we called it out. I believe during this pre-market. And we said right here is good amount of resistance. What happened today? Rejected, and then broke below, and then it still looks like it's still making that base, accumulating orders. Um, so it's trading in a zone right above this pre-market base that happened a little bit ago. Hold on, guys. Let me send a message real quick. Okay, I'm back now. So yeah, we see right here, literally you can execute like this. We see it's making base, it's accumulating orders, so you can get in right here, sell here, and then as soon as you sell here, you go for a short here, and then take it there. Total, this is about a $2 move to the upside and downside, just trading like that, and you can trade it both ways. Look intraday today. We see it rejected. You could have sold all the way down here, and then maybe get in on the long if you wanted to, and then sell up here. Anyways, J&J. J&J, Johnson & Johnson. Like I said, wouldn't get in on this. I think we said for longs, if it can test this area, but it tested it in pre-market, so I wouldn't get in on this. If you would want to get in on this, it would have been today. As we can see, it was still going up. We have resistance right here, or not really. Yeah, technically I would call it resistance or the high. And then, as we can see, it tested that previous high perfectly, and then held above, closed above at the end of the day. That's how I take this trade. So right here, I wouldn't take it until it hit this 202, 204. Nice $2 move, and then move on. Done with that trade. UNA or Pfizer is next. Pfizer trending downwards. I forgot what we said here. But same thing. Resistance here. I think we made that line. Let me see on the 4 hour. Okay, I think we made that line last video. But yeah, I was holding above and then rejected from this level, and then broke below support, tested support, and then shot right back down, and it tested it perfectly. So there's that over pre-market. So your entry would have been in after at the open once it touches that level, or at market open, and then it just sold off. Total this move, not even $1. This doesn't really move much. 70-cent move. UNH. Let's take a look at this one. Same thing. We made this little base area last time. Um, so we said any break above this probably long. So exactly what happened. Break above. It broke above, and then actually no. When did we make those lines? Okay, I think price was already here. Okay, I think we made this line for a retest. Personally, I wouldn't trade this. Yeah, right there. There's your resistance, your new resistance line right there for the intradays. So you could have taken this trade today if you paid attention. We see right here, during pre-market, couldn't hold above, couldn't break above, rejected off of previous day. Yeah, off of previous day's close, or not really close, but on this level right here. And then pre-market couldn't break above that. Um, then instantly rejected. Tried climbing back up, rejected again, rejected again, rejected again. So yeah, this is a nice level to play to the downside. Same thing, I'd keep that level for the next couple days, see how it reacts. But as of now, I'm still in shorts with that, unless it breaks above that level. Next, XLF. XLF. Same thing. I think we said anything below this is a short, and did exactly that, and it tested that level as well. So this would have been a nice entry as well. We get resistance. Pre-market broke above, and then opened above, opened well above, rejected. After rejection, it went down, and then you could have gotten a short right here. This is your entry. It already broke below. Whole market's going downwards, trying to reclaim this area, and then just instantly rejected. So 51 all the way up until the lows, or down into the lows, 51.65. So about a 20-cent move. Like I said, I would probably not trade XLF. I wouldn't. I don't really like to trade the sectors. Once again, it's doing this weird wick stuff, and I don't know why, and it's very annoying. Um, I can't really give a breakdown on this. Just because of that. It's very annoying. Um, I guess the only thing we can say for this is nothing much. I probably wouldn't actually get in this trade. It already went down a lot. 310 went down $8 already. Before I hit these little resistance areas. Or right here, pre-market, but it broke above pre-market. So yeah, I wouldn't take that trade. Let's move on to the next one. Bank of America, still same thing. Can't really give a breakdown on that. It's, I don't know why this chart is doing that. Next one, Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs. So I believe last video we said resistance on this level. This level right here. We see broke above, instantly rejected today intraday, in the 4 hour. Same thing. I want to take a trade on this just because this is a pretty big move, $15 move, to the downside, from support. I think this was, but yeah, from previous support, now resistance. So I wouldn't take a trade on that. That's too risky. Let's see what's next. Visa. I think same thing we said. Wouldn't take a trade on this. Not enough evidence for me, or that it was too late already. Same thing for MasterCard. Wouldn't trade this one. Jets. We wouldn't trade this one. Remember, I don't like to do Jets. LUV. No move. Nothing going on. It does look like it's sort of testing that area. Let's look at the smaller time frame. The same thing. This is also another one I don't really like to trade, but I would say anything below this level is a short. So anything below that, short it. Anything above, long it. That's LUV. DAL is next. Uh, let's see. Nothing much for DAL. I probably wouldn't have taken a trade on this one either. Yeah, right there, that would be your entry. 56. And then take it to the outside. Or 58, sorry. 58, and then take it to previous day low. 56, $2 move. Cool. BA. BA. Okay, we said it was going to reject off that level. And yesterday, it did exactly that. This is how I would take the trade. This one I do remember breaking it down for you guys. So for this one, once again, it's been rejecting off this level. Intraday rejected. We said pre-market it was most likely going to reject, and it exactly did that. And it opened below pre-market, opened at pre-market low, and I'd enter at pre-market low, and stop loss I'd probably put like right here. So that's not even. It's almost a dollar stop loss for a nice move all the way. I would take it there, or I would take it there. I think since it already opened at pre-market low, I'd probably trail this. Um, just because we open at the low and it's not far off from pre-market low, our exit. So I'd trail this. And then again, you could have also taken a trade if you missed it. You could have taken it today into that one level right there. We see that low. It reacted today. Entry here. I would say stop loss 198. We're just above it, but at least somewhere above this 189 from that pre-market low where it opened yesterday. And as you can see here, 188 to 189, a dollar stop loss for a $6 return, or for a $5 return. So risking a dollar or $5, that is definitely a worth it trade for me. And then it obviously went well below. So UAL. Nothing much with this. Currently wouldn't take a trade on this, and I don't think we said much about UAL. Let's move on to the next. XLE. I don't remember what we said for XLE. I think we said anything below that is a short. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I would say if you want to take a trade on this, you definitely can. Anything below this level here. Anything below that, go for shorts. If it bounces, go long. Okay, what's next? XLE, XLN. Okay, it's still in base form, looks like, but it's trending downwards a little bit. If I were to take a trade on this, it's gonna be right, yeah, about right here. Yeah, I take that trade right there. 117, break below 117 from that break, trail it 115, 117 to 115 or $116 move. That'd be a nice move. So CBX. What did we say about this? What did we say about this? Okay, I think we said this was support. This was support right here. And anything below that level is a short because the whole market was already moving down. So we take a closer look. Rejected off of basically pre-market low of yesterday or 2 days ago and shot right down. And also, if you just want to take a look at today's price, it couldn't even break above last night's pre-market high. So we see rejection, 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 tried breaking, and then retraced right back, and ended up closing below pre-market high, and then just instantly rejected. If you're not comfortable taking that trade there, you can take it here and then stop loss up here. So 152.5 to 152.9. So about a 40-cent stop loss for a right there. 150. What do we say? 152.5 for a $2 return. And as you can see exactly, yesterday's low happened, or today's low happened to react to yesterday's low, which looks like it's kind of accumulating orders there. So you could take another trade on this. So once again, anything below this level, short it. Anything above, I gotta start coloring them. I'm gonna color it red. The next time I say anything breaks below or above, I'm gonna color code it. That way I know what's what and I don't get confused. So I believe it's gonna break below this level. And if it does, it's probably gonna test this level again either tomorrow or the next day or Monday. So tomorrow's ODTE. You don't know what that is. It's the last day before contracts expire for the weeklies. For stocks. So CBX is done. Shell, don't really trade Shell. Just look at the chart. It's self-explanatory. There's a lot of gaps everywhere, so we don't trade those. Let's look at ARK. I believe we give a breakdown on ARK. Yep, good breakdown. We said right here, short below that. And then what happens? Couldn't break above pre-market high, and then just breaks right below. So this is how I would take my trade. Either right here, pre-market high, we see there's enough. There is definitely enough evidence to take a trade on this just because it rejected, rejected, and then doji, and then instant rejection. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had 5. So I had 30 minutes. What? Oh, what the hell? Okay, I had an hour to break pre-market high, and it never did. So what happened? It just instantly sold. So if you want to take your entry there, stop loss 50 cents, dollar, doesn't matter to me. Whatever you're comfortable with losing. Personally, I'd probably put it right there, maybe 78 for a dollar. But you definitely could put it low, which I recommend. The reason why I put it a dollar is because I have a lot of confidence in my trades, and to me, 78 is fine. And especially with a small ticker like this, that's the contracts are like $100. So if it were to move up a dollar, I'd probably be down about like $40. So that's nothing. Anyways, so we're here, 77. Take your entry, and take your exit right there. At the wick. I usually don't like to take the wicks, but you can take the wicks. I usually like to do where there's a lot of orders accumulating, like right there. So we get a little base action, and then pops. So right there. So if we take a look where it tested again. That could have been your re-entry or entry. And right there. So all the way from 77 to 73.7 or if you want to go for the wick, 73.28. So that's how I'd go about that. But as of now, definitely no trades. I wouldn't take a trade on any of this at all. I guess the only thing I can really go based off of is just anything. Um, anything if it rejects from this level, that would be my entry again. So once again, color code it red, break below. So that would be my entry again for shorts. And then I take it to here, to the bottom. So 73.6 to 71. What's next? Tesla. Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. Tesla. Okay, so it's already reacting off of this. So we said it was going to be a short. Um, that's not what happened. Or actually, I don't I don't think I gave a breakdown on this actually. If anything, maybe we're here. I said rejections. Um, or I should have said rejections. I don't know if I got lazy and then just said, oh, no structure or no trade for this one. Regardless, I still wouldn't take a trade on this one. But as we can see now, I would take a trade on this because take a look at this chart. Bounce level here. So previous support now turned into resistance, which was confirmed intraday as it broke below and tested during pre-market and rejected. So what I'm looking for, let's color code it before I forget. What I'm looking for is some type of short or rejection from this level, take it all the way down for a $10 move to 390 from 401 or $11 move. Sorry. So yeah, I'm looking for an entry here, and short it all the way down there. So there's that. Look at Coinbase. Coinbase. Let's see. How would I trade Coinbase? I don't think I said much for Coinbase. I think I said just right there short it, or should have. Like I said, once again, look at the previous videos to really know what I say because I forget a lot of things. I'm looking for some type of short right here from that level. So let's color code it. So we're looking for a short there. If you didn't catch that move that happened already. So that's my short. Or you can go right there as well, that 244.80. That can also be a good level for a short. So yeah, there's that. But my ideal one would definitely be that red line for a short. So let's move on to the next one, Roblox. This one was perfect, actually. This was a very perfect trade. We see here. So as I drink water, analyze this chart, and you try and figure it out before I give you the answer. So keep analyzing. Well, I hope you figured it out. Anyways, once again, we called it out on from here, I believe, that most likely it was going to be a short. What happened the next day? The price opened up at support. Let's take a look. Yeah, opened up at support and instantly rejected from support. What happens then? Started trying to reclaim that 100 level and then rejects again today from pre-market open. And then after that, after rejected from pre-market open, we see today, intraday, At pre-market open, it opens at pre-market low, and it can't even go up above to pre-market high. It stays below pre-market low. So your entry would be pre-market low when we see some resistance at this level from yesterday. So that could have been more confirmation. And not only that, the main confirmation would be from right here, pre-market. We open below pre-market when the whole market sentiment is bearish. And after that, take your entry here at this 98 level, and you don't want to take it to the lows right here. So go back in this video and analyze every single chart, rewatch this video, and you can see how everything looks exactly the same. So look, yesterday's low reacted today, or today reacted to yesterday's low. So that could have been your re-entry to the downside once again. So if you caught this, my entry would be right here. Stop loss pre-market high, dollar stop loss. Take it all the way low, all the way to yesterday's low. Or if you really wanted to, you can take it to the wick. But like I said, I usually like to do the candle bodies. Why? Because they react better off the candle bodies than the wicks. Look at it. For example, right here, it didn't test at the wick. There's not really much test there at that wick. It tested at the body. So, right there, that's your re-entry. Take it downwards. Take it, I would say, my ideal one right there, or if you want the wicks, but the ideal one is the body. So that's a $2 move, or about $1.85 move from here. So yeah, there's that. So that one is good. So my thoughts for tomorrow, I want some type of rejection from there, from that red line already, or rejection from here for continuation. And this is a very valid setup because we're still basically near the support level. So it could either reject off of that or reject off of these lines. How do we know for sure? We don't. So that's my guess for tomorrow. What's next? Shopify. Shopify, let's see. Do I remember what I said about this? Unfortunately, I do not. Okay. I remember. I think we said a short from here. So obviously it broke well above. Um and then today rejected. We might be able to see a retest from here. Off that 142 level. Or just to break below. But just to let you guys know, the reason why the market pushed up heavily was because Nvidia had earnings yesterday. Yesterday I think, or 2 days ago. I had earnings and pushed the market up, and then now the market is falling back down. So yeah, there's that. And if you can see my previous lines, look how they react perfectly. Like, look, I don't think I drew this last video. I think I had that from a previous video or just off camera on my chart, and it reacted off that perfectly. And then same thing today during pre-market. I believe we made this line yesterday actually, just this one. And if we look at today's pre-market, it already rejected from there. So my trade would be rejection from this line. That would be my trade. Would I enter on this? No. There's better tickers that I named throughout this entire video that have a better setup. So there's that. So let's look at Plantier. Look at Plantier. Plantier. Previous. What the hell? Previous support turned resistance. So, how do we trade this? Figure it out while I drink water. Waiting for the answer. Okay. Previous resistance here. Previous support, turn resistance. And then today, pre-market couldn't really hold above that support. And we see today, intraday, it rejected off of that. So our entry would be, it can't close above pre-market high. So we take a look, it rejected 3 times. And we can't hold above that. And we're right on top of support. So our entry is at the crack of support or previous support, now resistance would be our crack from there, or the test from that resistance, and our exit would be right there, 163. So from 172 to 163 is a $10 move, $9 move. Yeah, $9 move. Or if you want to go for the wicks again, $10 move. But regardless, very good move. Re-entry, not much structure for re-entry, so I wouldn't have re-entered on this. I just take it from there to previous day low. So that would have been a perfect trade. Re-entry for tomorrow. I don't see much structure for tomorrow. Only thing I see maybe that 160 level. But even then I wouldn't do. If anything, my re-entry level would be here. If it doesn't touch this, I'm not in. I don't care about. If it doesn't touch it and it goes down, I don't care. But my re-entry would be this red level right here at 162.5. Guess where I'm gonna take it if it hits it? Pre-market low, 152, $10 move, easy. Disney. Okay, this one I do remember. It was already trending downwards, and we can see it today. Price opened at support, turned resistance, broke below. So we see same thing. Price couldn't close above pre-market high. It already rejected or made a doji and then rejected afterwards. So entry right here at pre-market high, 105. Take it all the way to yesterday's low, right there, $104 move. And yeah, that's about it. How would I take this entry for tomorrow? I wouldn't. This move is done, in my opinion, for now, but not enough structure. There's still a lot of room for it to go down, but not enough. Not enough for me to get into a reentry. Unless it touches. I would say unless it touches this level right here. 103 or that 104. I would say 104. 104. So once it touches 104, that's my reentry back to the downside. Other than that, I'm not taking it. So next, cat. I don't think we said much for cat. I think we just said. Oh my god. I don't know why, but my nose feels very weird, like if I'm getting sick. Anyways, a perfect trade for tomorrow. So right here, previous support, turn resistance. Now that we see it can't break below, most likely, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? If pre-market can't close above that, your entry is right there at the level. And then you'd want to take the trade. It's right there. So that is another $10 move from 550 to 540. It's most likely going to break below, possibly even to 522, but $10 move is perfect. You don't need any more. You don't want to be greedy in this market because you'll blow your account. Trust me, I know. I've been through it. Lows. I think we said no entries for lows. But however, this could be a nice entry if it can keep rejecting below this demand level. So, actually, I think we said, okay, no, never mind. So yeah, most likely a short from here if it can not break above demand. But it looks like this turned into supply since this was previous demand and it's now trading under, but there's a lot, it recovered and then it rejected and then another rejection with doji. And so this can possibly go for more shorts or break above again. But my guess is going to be for a short. So I take it from this 230 all the way until 226. Or, yeah, right there, 226.5. That'll be my exit. No, let's look at Home Depot. Home Depot is nice, I think. Or I think we said no trades. No trades for Home Depot. Too risky just because it already sold a lot. So there's really no reason to go for that. I did say, however, most likely a long for Home Depot. Because of this level. Every time it reaches this level, it's always went above, but there is a lot of selling strength in the market recently, so it could do something like this and then shoot right back up. But overall, once again, I wouldn't take a trade unless it breaks this level. But I trail it. As soon as it breaks this level, I trail. So let's mark it red, just so we can know for sure. So break below. Um, you don't want to aim for their 331. Um, Basically, that's where pre-market low is now, but it's most likely going to open up at pre-market low or not. But I trail this right out the gate, just to be careful, since there's not a lot of structure from where it's at, and especially since it's been trending downwards heavily. Let's see, all the way from 400 to 300. It's been going down a lot, and this is a good area for bounce, which is demand. So let's look at something else. Target. Target, I think we said rejection off of this. And that's exactly what happened. Um, Price rejected, couldn't break pre-market high, couldn't even get near pre-market high, and couldn't even close above that support. Ended up closing below, rejected twice, uh, 3 times for a test, which is this right here, and just rejected. Um, so yeah, the way I would trade this from here all the way to pre-market low, exactly 85. So 85 from 88, nice move. Same thing for here. Couldn't break above pre-market high to recover from yesterday's failures or red, and it just sold off. Once again, from here I target pre-market low, and instead it just sold right below pre-market low. So yeah, as of now, if I were to take a trade on this, my trade would be right here. That'd be my entry, my re-entry, back to the downside, right there. Perfect. So let's move on. Target, Walmart. Wow. I think we said short for Walmart. Why did I make this? Oh, earnings. What were the earnings? Were they good? No, they were good. They were, I guess, good earnings. So yeah, good earnings, pushed it up. Most likely tomorrow we can probably see some type of short. Usually the day after earnings, it likes to push downwards. Or it can keep going back up. Who knows? Next one, PayPal. PayPal. Uh, not much. I think I'm not too sure what we said about PayPal. Yeah, no trades for PayPal unless right there maybe, but even then I still wouldn't even get it on this to be honest. So let's move on. XYZ. XYZ Square. Same thing. I think we said no trades for Square. So next one, Starbucks. Okay, Starbucks. We said anything below this. We said it's been rejecting. This one is another very good trade. It's been rejecting off this consistently, and And yeah, so now it officially broke below. This would have been a nice trade as well. So we take a look at today. It broke above pre-market. It held, and then when the whole market was selling off, it dumped, and then tested this support, now resistance, and broke below again. What am I looking for tomorrow? I am looking for a break below this, possible retest for that, or a possible retest for, I would say here, but probably not. Um, I would just say just a break below that 82 level. So anything below this would be a short for me. And then trail it instantly. Price is too far to, um, I guess you can TP there. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Uh, yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys learned something. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be it. And we'll see tomorrow how everything reacted. So thanks guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video again. Hopefully you guys learned something. So yeah, see you later guys.